If we think about the education 5.0, where human and artificial intelligence converges together, and it could be the strategic shift for the higher education institutions. Many people talk about that why only higher education, why not for the school education? So let's talk about not higher education or the school education, education at glance. So if we talk about the journey of education system, pre-1800 periods can be considered the education 1.0, where the Gurukul system with knowledge apprenticeship was more appreciated. Then we talk about the 1800 to 1947 period, maybe up to the Indian independence. If we talk about the Indian scenario, so we think about the industrial era gradually rolling up, and we thought that the mass schooling system came with the British colonial rules and influences we have seen. So that was the era which is considered to be education 2.0. Then if we talk about the education 3.0, so education 3.0 is nothing when the digital revolutions, digital learning system came into the India. So that is the period somewhere 1990s. And post 1990s, when we talk about the education 4.0, people feel that the education 4.0 is here with the intervention of technological inputs, with the intervention of industry related programs, industry related skill and competencies. So then that era was known as the education 4.0, and post 2020 education 5.0 has emerged. Especially if you see the entire world, my dear friend, you will find that world has only two parts. One is AC and one is BC. AC stands for after COVID and BC stands for the before COVID. So before COVID world was different, and AC, that means after COVID world, is completely different. So after COVID you can see that education 5.0 emerges, and human and AI co-evolution system and come into the system, and human and AI co-evolution shaping the education system and tracing Indian education evolution across 5 transformative phases. Why education 5.0 matters? It's very important. So there are 3 reasons broadly. Number 1 could be AI-driven disruption, accelerating skill obsolescence, and NAP has also mandated us to use the technology. And third thing, student needs future-ready capabilities, not past-era skills. I'm sure you might have visited to the various advertisements on the televisions that one lady is learning new skills on the chat GPT, one lady is learning new skills with the Google Gemini, Perplexity, and many other tools. These are the few tools which is very, very famous. So education 5.0 is very much important. And if we talk about why only artificial intelligence is important, so you can understand that the biggest challenge of education system was nothing but the one frame fits to all. How we can consider that a single person, I mean a professor or a teacher, having whatever the qualification, how good he is a teacher, how good teacher he is, or how bad in his subject or in his content delivery he or she, doesn't matter. But one person cannot fulfill the intellectual requirement and understanding of all 400 student, 100 student, 60 student, whatever the size of this your classroom, doesn't matter, right? So one person cannot, you tell me whether the quality or whether the ability of understanding of each and every student are same. Definitely not. Then how we consider that only one teacher is sufficient to teach all? That is the biggest challenge of the mass education system, what is arise in the era of education 2.0, right? Especially in the British colonial rules. So here, education 5.0 means core principles. If you elaborate it, if you want to define it, so what is education 5.0? So it's something AI augmented learning that supports educators and learners. Then if we talk about personalized adaptive pathways to meet diverse learner needs, and emphasis on critical thinking, creativity, compassion, build learning ecosystem beyond single classrooms. So these are the 4 points where we can think about the education 5.0, the core principles should rely. AI augmented learning is another idea which can transform the entire education system. Artificial intelligence gradually, if you can stop, you try. But I'm ready to bet you guys that you cannot stop the AI to come in your life. You cannot stop the technology to come in your life. People are saying at the beginning that they don't want mobile phones. Then gradually everybody was equipped with the keypad mobile phones. Then some of the time smartphone came. Then everybody is equipped with a smartphone. And nowadays many researchers says that every 3 minutes people are checking the pockets, where is my mobile phone? Every 2 minutes people are afraid that why the notification is not coming, whether my mobile has no signal or something. So this kind of interventions of technology is with the mobile phone. Same will come with the artificial intelligence. People are not able to write. If you see entire education system, my dear friends, you will find that what we are teaching to our students. We are teaching to our students of class 10th or 12th, write an essay on this topic, or write an application letter to DM for this reason, that some loudspeaker is buzzing and you are not able to study. So you are requesting DM to stop that. This kind of education what we have given to the students. But AI augmented learning will give us this different kind of phenomena. And here, education 5.0 is not completely AI driven. We need both the things. One is HI, that is human intelligence, and one is artificial intelligence. Both are very, very important. Marrying of HI with AI is important. Empathy and social understanding, then creative and abstract imagination, ethical judgment and value, contextual reasoning in complex setting is the features of the HI, human intelligence. If you talk about the features of artificial intelligence, you can see the high speed computation and scale, then mass data processing and pattern recognition, consistent repeatable performance, augmentation of research and analytics are few of the features of artificial intelligence. Then we also have to understand the capabilities of the learners, right? The learners who are sitting in front of me, or to whom I am dealing, belongs to Gen Z, right? And the students who are already in the schools are the Gen Alpha. So here you can see in my slides that Gen Z, Millennial, Gen X and Baby Boomers are the different age, right? So Gen Z has the different capabilities. They could not wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. In our Shastra, it was mentioned that you should all wake up early in Brahma Muhurt, right? But the current Z generation is not able to wake up even at 7 a.m. in the morning, right? But they have the capabilities of holding the smartphone with a special angle and waking up till 3 a.m. in the night also. And not only for the amusement purpose, but for the study as well, right? So as an educator, it is our role to transform that energy into a meaningful direction so that they can understand, they can do something well for the society. So here, if we want to understand Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they are the digital natives, and we the teachers are the digital migrants. Some of the time it could be mentioned more beautifully that the students, those who are sitting in front of me, they all are the AI citizens, and we guys, little old, are AI migrants only. So digital citizens and digital migrants are the things. Then visual and experiential. Gen Z is more visual and experiential. To understand one thing, if you understand the root cause, I have met with many vice chancellors, I have met with many teachers, of the schools, principals, and many people are saying कि यार वो बच्चे के अंदर वो बात नहीं है, ना पहले के जैसा बच्चा रह गया, ना पहले के जैसा टीचर रह गए. No, it's a wrong interpretation. We all have to understand the generation is always changing, right? And generation is always changing, and change is the rule of nature. We all have to accept, right? The problem is what? That the baby boomers was teaching to the Gen X was teaching to the millennials, and millennials are teaching to the Gen Z. So that's the only problem. To teach to somebody, you should come to at their level, right? If you are a Nobel laureate, maybe the student of class 8th will not able to understand your talk, right? If you are a good researcher, if you're a great teacher, it's okay. But you have to understand the characters of Gen Z. So I'm trying to decode the Gen Z. Gen Z is what? they are more towards the visual and experiential. They are enjoying with the quality of VRs, then simulations, then micro learning, and similarly, purpose driven orientation is also there. They are more focused about the purpose, right? And they want to be a quick learner. So these are the capabilities and the characteristic of Gen Z. Now, if you talk about AI is considered to be as a new literacy for the 21st century. I remember at my when I was in graduation, environmental science was made compulsory by the UGC. But now, universities are coming, many universities I know personally, and even I have also experimented in my university that AI should be the enabler, AI should be the part of curricula, AI should be not only the part of curricula, but also it should infuse intelligently, so that the students could become more employable, more skilled, and not only for the industry ready, not only for the employment ready, but they should do for their own startups and all. So the feature is what? Why new literacy? So learning partner. So AI could be considered as a learning partner. AI could be considered as creativity amplifier. Then it could be a skill enabler, and then it could be collaborative ecosystem. The student of future, again, as I just told, that the current students are not just degree takers. They're not just here for the achieving some degree. They are the creator. They want to create something. I know the students passing from even IITs got opportunity to work with the MNCs. They left the job and started their own ventures. In our audience also, we have the winner of 3 gold medalists, and she stopped working with the corporate. She has her own venture. So they are creators. We all have to understand. They're not customer. And also the multidisciplinary approach, which is the important and which is the need of an era. And they are also ethical, empathetic, and innovator. We have to understand and define the policies accordingly. And similarly, teaching is not just teaching. Teaching is also becoming changing. Some of the time it was considered as teachers are considered to be facilitators, mentors. Now teaching are toward inspiring. We should inspire towards a particular technology, to a particular thing. Students will find their own way. Gone are those days when I was struggling for my PhD from pillar to post, one library of this place to another place, in fact, not only place, but also states. I visited different states, different cities to get some books, some research paper, right? That was the time, but it was gone, right? So this is what the big shift from the teaching to inspiring. And if we consider about the framework for implementing Education 5.0, we should have AI-powered infrastructure, faculty upskilling, curriculum redesigning, ethical and value-based digital learning, student-led creative ecosystems are much required for the implementation of Education 5.0. The future begins with us. And this is the vision that we are not preparing students for the future. We are preparing them to design the future. And the call to action is what? For the university leaders, invest in AI platforms and pilot to treat AI as a partner, redesign curricula and assessment for co-evaluation with AI, and then fund student-led innovation that centers empathy and imaginations. Not but least, very important line, that let's lead with curiosity, innovate with purpose, and shape the future. Thanks and welcome to Education 5.0. Thank you so much.